Welcome, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Contact Lost, the best Polish English speaking podcast about Warhammer 40k, competitive Warhammer 40k, out there right now. We're here. I'm your host, Tomek, also known as Tweak. With me, my co host, Michał, also known as Joker. Hi, dude.
Yo.
Yo, yo. And with us again, because we love his voice, we love his knowledge, we love his input. Dyuceu? Can I just say it like
Yep,
that? Yeah,
exactly.
let's stick to that one
Hi.
because that's probably the simplest pronunciation of your name out there. Hi, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome. At the beginning, I need to apologize to our listeners for the usual delay. This time it was because of me, because we haven't used this software for a while. I haven't used my computer for a while. It turned out that I had a magnet sticking to my keyboard, which caused the entire computer to act up. And it took me a while to figure that out because the magnet was underneath the keyboard. But now it's all sorted out, and we should be fine with the episode. Listen, everyone, we brought in Dyuceu because Dyuceu has, I don't want to say participated because that's not the right
It
word
is
for
not
it.
the word.
Yeah, but he has been or had been present at an event that took place in Poland, in our Mayan Joker's lovely city of Gdynia, so in the north of Poland, for the first time since I can't remember when, at least 2 years, because Gdynia used to, or the three city area, so Gdynia, Gdańsk, and Sopot, we used to collectively organize an annual event, a GT that players from entire Poland would come to. But for reasons not dependent on us, we uh, we haven't done it for a while, and the event is back under a new name with new graphics, with new fonts, with new everything. And Ditsu was there as a referee, so you'll find I hope you'll find this episode interesting because from what I've checked, I've done like 2 minutes of research, and I saw that this event hasn't really been mentioned anywhere, neither on competitive innovations nor in the Meta Monday post on Reddit, which are, I guess, the two go-to places for the majority of people to see and check out competitive events. So we had the event in Poland was 80 players, and we had some of the top players in Poland participating in that event. But you've never heard about it because Poland has moved to their own, how do you call it, the ranking website, or
Tournament
like
up, basically.
yeah, tournament page or website, because usually people use what, like Tourney Keeper or Best Coast Pay Rings or something like that. Poland has devised their own, or our own, page called
Did he froze or did
He
I
froze.
froze? He froze.
Definitely he froze.
We have a page called Champions Hub. It's actually also available in English, so if you want an alternative to BCP or New Recruit or whatever, feel free to use it. We'll add the link to the description, especially the link to the Neptune Cup that we want to focus on today. And yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good website to run events. What do you think, Dizzle?
I think it's pretty
Do you like
okay.
it?
Yeah, I like it. I preferred the old Tourney Keeper, but after update, I prefer Champions Hub much more. It was an app developed to Age of Sigmar community by Agata, the girl behind this app. And I think after all changes we asked her to do in 40k side, it's pretty good app for now for our needs in Poland. But I think we can still have it better because we are working on it to have it more suited for our needs right now.
Right, yeah. So again, anyone can try it. It's pretty good. So I'm not sure where we were going to go with this after all, but to give a bit more background about the event itself, we've had 80 people attend, which is one of the bigger singles events, I think, in Poland. Singles usually don't get that much attention, although this year it's been quite amazing in terms of tournament attendance. What is more important to me personally is the fact that we've had, I think, 30 plus local people playing, which is also incredibly immense. I mean, we've got quite a big player base, but it wasn't exactly tournament attendees, especially not GTs. So that's wonderful to see, at least for me. And yeah, so we've I believe uh, we've used as if I was there. I wasn't actually there, which bumps me out a little bit, but had to be away for the weekend because of work. And so did Tweak. So we're definitely the two best placed people to talk about the event itself. However, we used some sort of a different scoring method, one that was used in Poland quite a while ago at events, meaning that if we were using the differential scoring as like the second type or the first tiebreaker. But other than that, if you won, you got 2 big points. If you drew, you got 1 point, and a loss was obviously zero. That's pretty much akin to the WTC team event, where a winning team scores like 2 points, and a draw is 1 point, and a loss is obviously zero. Uh, Dyuceu, as a judge, what do you think of that system? Do you like it compared to the usual differential we play in Poland, even in singles, or a usual win, draw, lose would have been better in your opinion?
Basically, we agreed with rest of organizing party that we will change the system next year. Because of that, because for this system we chose for this tournament, we basically should have 7 rounds of games to have our definite winner. Because for now we had 2 people with 10 points, so sixth round might be in place here, but we didn't have time for it. Also, the players didn't have the time. I think the usual difference scoring, like WTC 20 and 0, it's better for 5 rounds singles tournament. But I think the win, draw, lose, if you have more players and definitely more rounds, can be also nice sometimes. Not like all the time, because we are preferring the 20-0 in Poland because we are playing teams 40k, not just 40k. But that's nice, like once a year, twice a year, to have win, draw, lose event.
Yeah, I get that opinion. Although I personally I'm a bit on the fence about this. In recent times, I felt like win, draw, lose is actually better for singles. Although I do get the argument that you should be able to play enough rounds to determine a clear winner. Whereas 20-0 really, in a way, I think favorizes armies that can actually drive big wins. So doesn't feel like it's necessarily an even field, but that's just my opinion. Tweak, are you back or are you not back?
I think I am back, at least for now. We'll see what happens in a moment, but no, it should be fine. I should be able to continue. So, what have you
Okay.
covered so far? Just the format, from what I gather.
Yeah, we've covered
Exactly.
the format, and we're keen to hear your opinion on win, draw, lose versus differential scoring versus the hybrid that was actually used at Neptune that will not be used next year, apparently.
Um, yeah. So, I mean, this has been a discussion for at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 years in Poland. Which system is better? We tend to look at what happens abroad and laugh at it, which is the win or lose system. Like, Poland is so devoted, wholeheartedly devoted to 20-0 system, the differential, that it's actually nice to see win or lose used for a change. Uh, I don't know, maybe it has become a standard in Poland, but for me, this was like one of the first ones, I think. But I've always been a huge proponent of it, just because the armies that I use seem to be armies that usually score more like drawish amount of points. And for me, it always seemed like win, draw, lose gives me a little bit more chance to score this narrow win. Like, I don't know, the Death Guard used to be that army, and I think they still, well, this was still on the old codex, so I think Death Guard still fell into that bucket of armies that when they play in singles, they usually play drawish games, and I think it's similar for teams. So for me as a Death Guard player, win or lose sounded like something that gave me a little bit more chances to go higher or to score a win by making some smart plays. But yeah, I managed to catch what Joker said, that this is in a Shark Tank. This is like the differential is the one that favors the armies that go for high scores. My question then would be, how many armies are there that actually do that right now in the meta? And to be honest, I don't know what the answer is. So maybe you can comment because you are closer to the Polish national team. Are there any armies right now where you can safely say, yeah, this is going to bring 20s, or this is going to bring like 18s or something like that? Are there plenty of armies like that?
Not much.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
one I can think of right now will be the Blood Angels variant with 18 Blade Guard veterans. It's 0-1 army. You will win high or you will lose high. Nothing in between, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I've been on the receiving end of that one, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So, unfortunately, I lost high, but yeah, I guess it falls into the pattern of the army. So yeah, so I think that is testament to what I said. Have you managed to cover the faction podium, or the faction list and count of how many armies we had at that event, or we didn't get there yet?
No, we have not got to that yet, so you can lead the way.
Okay. All right. So I did some calculation and some numbering. But before I go into it, what do you think was the podium? What do you think were the most numerous armies? So I don't know if you've done the analysis. Let's pretend you haven't. So what do you think, judging by the meta and so on? What were the top 3 armies when it comes to not like podium, but
But
how many
most
players played
points.
them? Yes.
How many players
Yeah,
played
how many
them?
players came
Yeah,
with
so
a
podium
particular
in
army?
terms of
In
faction
terms of
representation.
Like,
factions,
which armies were the most popular, in other words?
from what I saw on the tables, Blood Angels, Guard, Necrons, or Demons, I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah, definitely
Joker.
Blood Angels, Guard, and Necrons or Demons.
Okay. Joker, what's your like wild guess? What is
Yeah,
popular right now?
I would have definitely gone with Space Marines, Demons, and Eldar.
Space Marines, Demons, and Eldar. Okay. So wrong. I mean, this was right with one of them. So the podium, the top 3 were in that order: Blood Angels with 8.
Blood Angels are Space Marines, mate.
Well, yeah, but they have their, let's say, their
No,
own
no,
book or
it's
something.
one faction nowadays.
Ah, okay. So if we count like that, then we had 13 Space Marines
Nah, there
altogether.
we go.
All right. So still, but okay. If we go into like the different flavors, then we had 8 Blood Angels, 7 Necrons, 6 Astra Militarum. So that was the podium. And then we had 5 of Chaos Demons, Tyranids, Leagues of Votan. And I also included other SM that are like, Codex Space Marines. So we had 1 Salamanders, 1 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves. That's it.
Are you
No, sorry,
counting?
three Ultramarines. So I did something wrong there.
Are you counting the Adeptus Titanicus as different faction, or you are putting the guy who brought the Titan into the guard bucket?
I have no idea because I haven't checked the list, so I don't know what it's under which faction. I know there was a guy who brought it, but I don't know how it was classified. So I'm not going there. But out of the interesting things, we had 4 of Custodes, Death Guard, Eldari, and Grey Knights, and then 3 of Orcs, Admech, and Imperial Knights, which is also interesting. And then the rest 2s and 1s of pretty much every single faction, apart from Sisters. I haven't seen Sisters. I've seen Admech. I've seen Chaos Knights, Tau, even one Emperor's Children representative, but no Sisters. And Joker, I need to ask you the question. Hearing about like the army count and so on, knowing that you enjoy and you play Emperor's Children, one Emperor's Children player at an 80-man event, what does that mean? That they are not that popular in Poland, or just not good?
I think the first, so not that popular, maybe. Although I must admit, I'm equally surprised. I would have expected, or at least a couple more. You do have to take into account that it's a new army, although I feel like in the era of 3D printing, that's not exactly a charging aspect as much, not any longer. They are, I want to say, a bit specific and maybe not the best army for singles, where you might get a pairing that will make you struggle. EC have quite a few of them, and teams they can be protected in the pairing process and then deliver a big win. But in singles, it's a lottery, and if you end up playing things like Death Guard, well, you're screwed.
Okay, and then Dyuceu, I need to ask you about a different faction. Again, when I hear Adam Camilleri or people from abroad who discuss the Polish meta, very frequently they say that it is typical for the Polish meta and the Polish tournaments to see a lot of Necron players. Like, not sure whether because they are very popular. I don't know if Dyuceu is frozen or if it's me
No, I'm
again,
not.
but there are some technical difficulties, I think. Dyuceu, can you hear us?
Yeah, of course.
Seems like not. So, Joker, the question will go to
Oh.
you then.
Well, I can hear him. You can't hear him. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
I can hear you, Joker, but I can't hear Dyuceu and I can't see him move.
Okay,
Okay, that's
that's
very
weird.
weird.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
I have him in real time. He's responding to what you're saying, so
What the heck? Okay,
that is
I'll
really odd.
I'll reconnect in a second then. But I'll just put out the question there and I'll rejoin in a second. 7 Necrons in the tournament. Does that mean that there is power in Necrons, or does that mean that Necrons are simply very popular in Poland? And now let me reconnect. You can
You
discuss.
do that.
Okay, so basically, I think that's a bit of both words. The Necrons are a very popular army in Poland. You can see this on almost every RTT played here, that we have bigger percentage of Necrons and Space Marines than any other army. And also, I think that Necrons are pretty good in this meta, because you can have few different builds with Star Shatter, with Canoptech Court. So I see why we have so many Necron players in our tournaments, basically.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since they were like the antagonist of 8th edition, and you could really get the army fairly cheaply. It's a moment where it was 9th. It was 9th,
Ninth.
that they came in, and throughout 9th they were actually quite a solid faction, and one that could be easily acquired. So I think that's when the player base started growing. So makes all the more sense that we get quite a lot of Necron people down here.
Yeah, like, I don't even play Necrons, but I still have like 6,000 points of Necrons from last edition, because I got them with every buy of minifigures as a extra, basically.
Yeah, they're also quite an easy army to get on the table in terms of tournament ready painting standard. So I think that's like all the more reason to have quite a few of them at our events.
Exactly.
I am back and I can hear you both. So
Great.
Great
I think
success.
we can continue from here. So lads, how do we want to do this? I was thinking of maybe just going from the or analyzing the top 10 armies, or going through the top 10 players at the tournament. Joker, do you have any better idea how to approach this one?
Absolutely not.
Right. Okay.
Thousand Suns leaks dropped today, so I'm having a really hard time concentrating on being here and not
Okay.
just list building. So yeah.
Oh, any
I'll
good?
let you lead the way.
Anything good in the leaks about Thousand Suns? Because I've only seen that the robots that you hated on so much got infiltration or something like that. Anything else?
Yeah, they got infiltrate, stealth. They are interesting. They are in like
Suddenly.
this.
Infiltrate,
I mean,
stealth, free Overwatch with a flamers.
I still think they look like shit. But they are interesting rules wise. So we'll see. We'll see. Nothing broken at first glance. Yeah, so it's a work in progress.
Okay. Just out of my curiosity, because again, I've been not connected to the grid for a longer while now. Did I hear that like psychic tests are back?
Yeah,
Oh yes,
exactly.
they're back.
Okay. Is that
What the
something that
fuck?
excites you or something that actually troubles you?
It troubles me greatly. I've been enjoying the different way that cabals have been working. I hate my mechanic being my army rule being something that's random and might not be there when I need it most.
Mm-hmm.
The only upside to it is that you don't need to have like that many characters in terms of having access to your army rule as you had before. I mean, they're still good, so might be worth taking like 9 different sorcerers or whatever. And also, you can now keep your psychic guys safety in rhinos until you need them because you don't need to generate cabal points again. But not only are the rituals uncertain now, they're also all worse across the board. Comparably worse, I would say.
Magnus still moved twice or something like that.
No, you can only move an additional d6 or a flat 6 if you get a 10 plus on the psychic test.
Yes. It boy. I mean, finally.
Yeah, so that's that. But this is not the topic of tonight's conversation.
Yeah, it's not.
So
It's not. I just got sidetracked. All right. So listen. Going from the 10th place to the first, I guess we will paste the link to the tournament into the lists in the description, so you can check it out yourself. We will focus on the top 10 armies because, again, out of the 80, those are probably the ones that are most interesting and deserve our attention. So let's jump to number 10. We have our local player Ketchup, um, a player who has been playing Tyranids for whole his life. I don't know, like I don't know, at least 12 years, I would say, that he's on Tyranids. And if he finds a list that is good, he just keeps on playing it and doesn't change it one bit. So that might
which
be
is
what.
what he's doing in 10th.
Yeah, exactly. So he was playing Invasion Fleet, and with a Neuro Tyrant, a Swarm Lord, 2 units of Gargoyles, 1 unit of Biovores, 2 Exocrines, 3 Lictors, a Maleceptor, a Norn, 2 Tyrannofexes, and 2 times Von Ryan Leapers. Sounds very straightforward, very simple. I'll have you comment on this one. Is this the standard that we see from the Tyranids right now, or is there some innovation in it actually?
It's around standard invasion
Hmm.
fleet with basically no twists. So I think it's pretty optimal list. Like you just go on the points and you stay there. Many armies will have a problem with Norn on
Mm-hmm.
desired objective. I think it's pretty okay list. Definitely better for teams than single, but it's pretty nice score for Ketchup. He was playing versus Admech, Demons, CSM, Necrons, and Drukhari, so pretty solid score. I think the top 10.
Yeah, I mean 4-1. Definitely nothing to scoff at. The only loss was to Vladdy, who is uh, I would say world renowned player in a part of Team Poland at the WTC. So again, not really a shame losing to him. And that was versus Chaos Space Marines, but with in the games versus Mechanicus, Demons, Necrons, and Drukhari, a solid win. So really well done by him. Um, do we want to delve any deeper into this one, or do we want to move on? Joker.
I think we can move on.
So do you have
Yeah,
it in front of
let's
you? Can you
leave
go
the
with number 9?
I do have this in front of me, yes.
Mhm.
So we've got another of our local lads, Bofshal, playing Orcs. Your Warhorde Orc list, that is, I'm looking at it and checking if I can say fairly standard. Well, it's got more characters than I would expect, and a 20-man boys blob.
It's actually extremely heavy on characters if you think about it. One, two,
Yeah, big
three,
time.
four,
We've
five,
got
6, 7,
like
8,
eight
9
or nine,
characters.
9 dudes, yeah. But then you also have your more. Actually, okay, this is not necessarily a usual list. Yeah, it doesn't have like your usual 3 units of tank busters that I think you would expect. It's also not heavy on flash kits. It's got some commandos to try to nullify open opposition infiltration and or scouts. So that's always a nice bit of toolkit. And they've also got Gretchen with Zodgrad, which I think also get a scout or infiltrate. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Or both.
Or both. I know. Yeah, but you have some of the usual pieces like Breaker Boys, aforementioned Tank Busters, Storm Boys, Knobs, all that kind of jazz. And yeah, I mean, you really deal damage through the characters here during the war, and you just try close your opponent in their deployment zone, especially if you've got a 20-man unit of boys and a 20-man unit of Gretchen. It's something you can do. Just try to close off the opponent, like I said, score enough points, and then have them not being able to recover, which on a win draw lose sort of system can do the job.
Yeah. It feels like every single thing in the list that is not a character is a delivery mechanism for a character. So it seems that it worked because again, I think he was 4-in-1, just like Ketchup, and
Yep.
playing versus a win versus Blood Angels, a win versus Astra Militarum, a win versus Tyranids, and another win versus a win versus Skark. Come on.
Yeah, it was crazy game, bro.
What the heck?
Tell us
Have you
more
seen
about
it?
it.
Have you been at the table?
Most of the time because it was on the high table near my sitting place.
Uh-huh.
So basically, I don't remember if it was Wa in first or second battle round, but it was pretty quick Wa and just right click into the Skark's model. So
Oh wow. Okay. So a really interesting army composition which apparently can do damage and can be threatening. And also a win versus Bakwajan. So Baku, whom we had on our podcast as well. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's impressive. And only losing to Grey Knights, I can completely empathize with that because I also keep on losing to Grey Knights. A very potent, very strong army with a lot of mobility. So yeah, I mean, amazing. Really well done. I like the list. I like the scores. I'm impressed. Um, Next one. Ditsu, do you want to go with the next one?
yeah, sure. Next we have Chams,
Mm-hmm.
another local Free City player with Grey Knights, Warbane Task Force. So we have four Grandmasters back, four Nemesis Dread Knights, one Grandmaster, Strike Squad, four Razorbacks, one Rhino, double Interceptor Squad, small and big Purifier Squad. It's not a standard list I have seen for last like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is pretty okay for Windrow Blues. Chams went 4-1, on average around 13 points per game. He played and won with Tyranids, Necrons, Orcs, and in Grey Knight's Mirror last game, and only lost to Vladis CSM. I think it's pretty okay list, but I would not consider it myself for normal singles.
Why not?
Too many transports, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go up and down with Grey Knights, with full rerolls. The NDKs are just crazy. We have seen a lot of 6 NDKs lists in the meta. I
Yeah.
think it's more the way than 4, 5, or 6 Razorbacks.
I mean, I actually enjoy Cham's list because it's so refreshing. 2 weeks ago, I played one of the league games, I think teams league games versus Grey Knights, and the NDKs were just immovable. Like, if you spike on the 4-ups, they're just crazy stupid, and that game felt like it, like immovable object. I couldn't touch them. They could touch me. On the other hand, so if you're bringing something like that in fours, fives, sixes, success is guaranteed, or so it feels. So to see four transports and that it actually took eighth place at an 80-man event, refreshing, nice, welcome. Please do more of that. Number 7, Joker. Do you want to speak about the next one?
Number 7, let me put it up. Oh, it's our very own Vitalis.
Yep.
So yeah, and he's still playing 3 big knights. So if he's listening, he's probably laughing already. As I always tell him, don't take those big knights, mate. They're not gonna do much.
I mean,
But I guess
sorry, just knowing Vitalis, he probably spent like 2 weeks practicing and considering taking another army, and then a day or an hour before uploading the list, he just said, "Ah, fuck it, I'm gonna take knights again," because that's always what he does. So
Basically,
probably
that's exactly what happened. Exactly on the
there you
dot.
go, there you go. Just I know my guy, so yeah. And he did well with the list apparently. So tell us all about it.
oh, he's managed to go 3-0-2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 wins and 2 draws. Having played Votan, let's put it in order. Blood Angels, Emperor's Children, Ultramarines, Leagues of Votan, and Chaos Demons. Looking at those matchups, I think he's actually done quite well. I could see Blood Angels, Emperor's Children, all of these armies actually being able to win against Imperial Knights. So kudos to him. Well done, Vitalis.
Yeah,
on
just
your
to be
7th
clear,
place
when we
finish.
say 302, we mean 3 wins, 2 draws. Like he went undefeated, which is
Yes.
again why he took 7th place. And yeah, absolutely. Like the army composition, this is something that Vitalis really enjoys. Canis Rex, Terrastus Knight Atropos, and then Knight Lancer. 3 Helverins, 2 Warglaves. I guess that's what you can stick into a list if you're bringing 3 big knights. And Vitalis is just like a proper Chad, not just a Imperial Knights enjoyer, but actually an Imperial Knights Chad. And he managed to go undefeated versus some good players. Great stuff. Good to see. Moving on. Next up, we have Chaos Demons. We have Shemek, who brought Demonic Incursion. The Demonic Incursion is the index one, right? So
Yep,
Exactly.
that's the next one.
right. Okay, let's see the list. We have Scarbrand, Bloodthirster, Demon Prince of Chaos with Wings, and Demon Prince of Corn, and then Great Unclean One and Rendmaster on Blood Throne. To that, we have 3 Nurglings, 10 Plague Bearers, Beasts of Nurgle, 3 Screamers. Sounds very simple. Bring some big guys and some chaff for missions. Is that exactly how it plays, or am I missing something?
Pretty much, except for the fact that your chaff kind of adds on to your stat check of big guys, because the Beasts of Nurgle are quite tanky. They've got high toughness. They're very annoying to get rid of. So you can safely, do secondaries with them, screen out the back somewhat, and just press on with your big guys. Obviously, if you can't deal with that many wounds of high toughness, you're not going to win this game. It's demons are enjoying a really good time. I mean, like the past 6 months, since like the December data slate and the Grotmass introduction. Even though the Grotmass detachments got raised, then they got Shadow Legion, and with various changes in terms of points on the different units, Incursion is also still a very viable detachment to play, and it's interesting to see this army perform so well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that they're not getting a codex this edition. Yeah.
Okay, so I need to ask because again, this is an army that doesn't really shoot. does this army then benefit from WTC tables, or would it perform equally well on any sort of table?
It's
I
hard to
think
tell for me. I play only on WTC and Alpine sets, so
Okay.
I mean, I think it would do similarly well. Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
okay, so let's not go into like.
I think it
Go on.
would do similarly well. On some layouts of, I'm sure UKTC and I think GW, it might be even easier to play with this army because you've got these like flat ruins. So you just have essentially the base of a ruin,
Mhm.
just a small wall to represent whatever, but your monsters can go straight through them without losing any movement. So I can see that actually benefiting your Scar brands and the Great Unclean ones. On the other hand, the shooting lanes are a bit different, so it might be harder to hide on some of the tables. So
Mhm.
it's it's
Win
apples
some,
and
lose some.
oranges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but very interesting still, and I'm always happy to see demons. So yeah, congrats to Shemek on 6th place. Now we're moving on to the bracket of players who have gone, I guess 4-1, almost up to the last 2 players in places 1 and 2, but we will get there. Number 5.
Actually, we started at 4-1
Yeah,
in 10th
shush,
place, but
shush.
7 and 6 were 3 wins, 2 draws.
Yes, true. Okay, shush. We're moving on to Grzeli, our Polish Dark Angels enjoyer, I guess. Dyuceu, do you want to analyze that list? Tell us something about it.
yeah, sure. I was one of the people writing it, so should be pretty easy.
Look how well I found a volunteer to discuss the list. Go on then.
Yeah, basically we have Dark Angels Stormlands with Lion, triple Deathwing Knights Bricks, Azrael with Inner Circle Companions, Scout Squad, one Infiltrator unit, double Gladiator Lancer, one unit of Jump Pack Assault Intercessors, and Hidden Tech Invader ATV.
Okay. So is this supposed to be an ingenious list, or because I've seen the Invader ATV in someone else's list already? Was that a copycat or?
No, we had 60 points left. Basically.
Okay, so poor man's secret tech. Okay,
It's
so
basically a stat checklist. You
uh-huh.
will roll out with 15 Deathwing Knights and the Lion, and if your opponent can kill it, you will lose this game. If he can't, you will win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Grzelich played versus Death Guard, Space Wolves, Grey Knights, Eldari, and Word Eaters. Lost only to Grey Knights because of full rerolling NDKs,
Mm-hmm.
killing the Deathwing Knights pretty easy. And I think it's pretty okay list for single. Definitely also filling the spot in team tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you like playing that sort of army, which is essentially just a pure stat check and comment me, bro, and that's it. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, if you are a good pilot of that and you enjoy that play style, absolutely a list for you. 5th place, congrats. Next one, 4th place, we have Zozo, also a member or an affiliate of the Polish national team. And he was playing Chaos Demons. Joker, do you want to go through that list since Chaos Demons are fairly close to your heart?
Sure. So Zozo played a Bellicor-less Shadow Legion. So he's got the notorious Bloodthirster that disappears after killing something, and yeah, is very annoying and guarantees kills. He's got 2 units of 6-man Nurglings, a Beast of Nurgle, 5 Flesh Hounds, 18 Screamers, a Blob of Accursed Cultists with Dark Commune, and the 9-inch Scout Enhancement, a Cultist Mob, 3 squads of 5 Raptors, and 2 Brigands.
Okay. I listened to one of the Polish podcasts done by Gogi. All the best to him, by the way. Who was doing the summary of the Alpine Cup, and I think also the list analysis for the Alpine Cup. And I remember him mentioning, first of all, that Zozo was playing demons, and second of all, that Zozo, among some other players who took demons, is a screamer enjoyer. So that he essentially he brings as many screamers as possible. What do the screamers do? I've never. Sorry, this edition I haven't played against a spam of screamers, so I haven't experienced it. To a player like me who hasn't played against it, what does it do? Why is it so good? Why do they bring so many?
Well, it's a good all-round unit. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. But you can find lots of use, obviously. That's the definition of the idiom. You can find lots of uses for it, and there are matchups where they're just brilliant. So it's first of all, they're quite durable for what you pay for them. They're 3 wounds each, pure toughness 4, but -1 to hit in Shadow Legion and 4 up invuln. So 4 up Fiesta can go your way. Then on the offensive side, they've all got 3 attacks each, hitting on 3s, 6, 2, 2 is the profile, but they've also got anti-vehicle, anti-monster 4 up. So they're pretty good into a variety of targets. And to add to all of that, they move a 14 or 16-inch base and do mortals on the flyover. They're also beasts going through walls. They do it all.
Yeah, sounds like, as you said, the jack of all trades, a good unit to have. And for 160 points, I would definitely be taking as many as possible.
Yeah, the -1 to hit from Shadow Legion really helps quite a lot, and also the fact that for a CP you can give them Lance on the charge is also quite helpful. They become a more reliable unit in terms of damage output as well. So yeah, when I tried to play around with demons a little bit and playing Shadow Legion, also take 18 Screamers to begin with.
Okay. And tell us something about the Bloodthirster attack. Again, for someone who hasn't played into that yet or hasn't experienced it at a tournament, what can people expect? Is this just a big bad beat stick that comes beat you up and is just nigh indestructible because he can disappear from the table? Is that what he does?
Yeah, pretty much. So what he does is he deals a lot of damage. You can also use that Lance strat on him, and because he's a current demon, he also gets an additional pip of AP. On the same strat, more importantly, current demons in Shadow Legion get to advance and charge. So you've got something that's got 12-inch movement base with fly. You can advance, and then you can hit something. And obviously, more importantly, something that almost always guarantees a kill, having the ability to go back into reserves, and then you just ingress it and repeat. Makes him almost impossible to beat unless you go into something that's got fight first and use a heck load of damage, or something that is unbelievably durable. You're not gonna catch that Bloodthirster, and it's always going to destroy something of yours each turn.
Okay. So he also has 2 Warlock Brigands in that list. Is that necessary for demons to bring? Like, is it because they are lacking something in terms of like long range damage, or is it just something to help open vehicles? Why are they there? What do you suppose?
Well, it's all of that. It's ranged damage, most importantly. You don't have it in this list apart from them. They've got OC8. They're fairly somewhat durable with your benchmark vehicle chassis. That's what they do. Zozo's a big fan. A lot of players are not convinced to taking Chaos Knights in Shadow Legion. You could resort to Havocs that might have, they have bigger range. They benefit from strats and Bellacor's aura, which Chaos Knights don't, but if you're not taking Be'lakor, I guess that's not an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're also faster than Havocs, obviously, if you disregard the uppy downy strat. So it's they play similar roles. I know Zos is a fan of the Brigands, and I guess that's what
It's best
was his
datasheet.
reasoning.
It's best datasheet in all Chaos armies, in my opinion. You have a lot of shooting on 2-up to hit, good profiles in basically into everything with Meltas and with Chain Cannon. And from what I spoke with Zozo after the tournament, he's pretty happy with them because you can open any transport with them basically, and you can kill every screen. So they are multi-purpose unit, and you can also put them on the point with OC8, toughness 10, 5-up in in shooting, and check opponent to kill them instead of like Bloodthirster.
Yeah, absolutely. And with 14 movement and the fact that you can place them in strategic reserve and just bring 2 of them on the side of the table close to your target, also helps, I guess.
They are movement 12. 14 is for carnivore.
Sorry, carnivores have 14, so 12. But still, 12 is a lot in
It's
this
pretty
game.
good.
So, yeah, so there is no issue with mobility or positioning them properly if you so wish. So, yeah, sounds like a great addition to the army. All right, that was place number 4. Let's go to top 3 now, and let's go into Vladi. Dyuceu, do you want to go through his Chaos Space Marines?
Sure. We have Pact Bound Zealots Chaos Space Marines, and the list consists of Chaos Lord with Jump Pack, Mark of Corn, and Talisman of Burning Blood for better combat. Then we have Chaos Lord with Jump Pack with Mark of Slanesh, 1 unit of 10 cultists marked Nergal, 2 times 5 legionnaires on Slanesh, 2 small units of accursed cultists marked with Slanesh, 2 units of raptors, 1 marked corn, 1 Slanesh for the lords on jump packs, 2 units of tinge bikers, and we have 3 predators annihilators marked Nurgle, 2 predator destructors marked Nurgle, and 3 mauler fiends marked Slanesh. It's basically combat MSU with bit of shooting from predators, and it's crazy with small units with better dark pacts. Basically your 100 points unit can trade up to double of the value every time, and mauler fiends are great pressure units. If you put 2 on one flank, definitely your opponent will need to put some chaff there. That's very, very, very good list.
Yeah, I must say, it doesn't mean much coming from me, but I haven't seen a list like that for a while. So there is plenty of stuff. It looks very powerful, and it looks exactly like something that Vladi would play, and to great success. So if I saw that list at an event for the first time, I would probably panic a little bit, not knowing what exactly it does and what to expect. No, I shit you not. I would just not know what this list intends to do and how it intends to play. So yeah, I would need to do a lot of research before the tournament to actually get this one.
Vladi did 4-1 with WTC points. He scored 79 of them, winning versus Grey Knights, Blood Angels, Tyranids, and Grey Knights, and losing only to Victor on Custodes, who won the whole tournament. So I think this list will be also perfect for a normal 20-0 tournament, and very great for team's environment.
Yeah, sounds good. Looks good. I mean, yeah, five predators, 3 mauler fiends, and then you have plenty of stuff to run around, score points. I mean, looks brilliant. So, and in Vladi's hands, I'm not surprised it did that well. So good stuff. 4-1, third place. Joker, I know you love the elves, so do you want to talk about Lisu's list that took the second place?
I don't really know that much about elves.
We can do it. Joint effort. We'll manage somehow.
Okay, so first of all, I'm surprised to see that it wasn't Inari. It's actually Warhost. Inari being the definitely the more popular build nowadays. But he's got 2 Autarchs here, Fugan and Janezar. Only a single Wave Serpent and single Falcon. A big blob of Fire Dragons. 3 units of Holding Banshees, 2 Shadow Weaver platforms, a unit of Shining Spears, unit of Shroud Runners, 2 units of Striking Scorpions, 2 units of Swooping Hawks, and 2 units of Warp Spiders.
Insane how many units Eldari can fit into a list, to be perfectly honest. So, is this the standard Eldar MSU, or am I missing something?
It's more in the side of standard Elder MSU. I'm totally not surprised it's not Inari list. Inari is great noob stomper, but not that good on singles, because if you find in your pairing something like Blood Angels, you basically don't have the game. And Warhost can try to play it. You have Janezar, 2 Autarchs with 3 Banshee units, and that's very very good combo to counter any melee army. Melee threat, you have your Fugan with 10 Fire Dragons to open everything on the table. They are in Wave Serpent, so they will jump out, shoot, jump back, and you have a lot of stuff to do your missions, to block your opponent. It's also very mobile. It's very good MSU list. The Lisu scored 64 points, going 5-0, winning his every game versus Custodes, Death Guard, Necrons, Grey Knights, and Maklax CSM. I think it's pretty solid list, and in my opinion, Warhost is better on singles than Inari.
Yeah, but also credit needs to go where credit is due. Liso is our local Tree City player, very technical. I mean, every single time when I play him, I admire his the in-depth analysis of what he does. So it's not just the one; it's the wizard as well at this time.
Exactly.
So congrats to him, because he plays his Eldar really well, no matter what the flavor is, because he's a Drukari enjoyer as well. I know he tries to mix and match. No, just great player, good army, fantastic mix. They go together. Okay, so that was number 2. I mean, so second place, and then we go to place number 1, Victor. So another member of Team Poland, or I don't know if current, but definitely former. Playing Custodes. Dyuceu, do you want to tell us what the list
Yeah,
consisted of
sure.
and how he plays it?
Sure, that's the Adeptus Custodes list on New Detachment, Lions of the Emperor, and list contains 2 Blade Champions Valyrian, Captain on Jetbike with extra damage relic, 2 Graph Tanks, 3 times 5 Wardens, 2 units of Prosecutors, 1 unit of Witch Seeker, and 1 unit of 2 bikes with salvo launchers. Basically, the list can play very aggressive and also can play very good stat check with Wardens. The damage free on Captain, it's crazy, and in Lions you can use Captain's ability more than once, the extra move after fight phase. So you have very mobile damage that can reach full table, and it's also very durable after recent buffs. The Lions detachment gives you big power, because +1 to hit and +1 to wound if you are over 6 from any other unit from your army. That packs a punch on like unit of Wardens with sustained. It's just crazy. When you in normal army you will put 2 or 3 units on the flank, and here you will just put 5 Wardens with champion that can double time advance and charge, as example from the stratagem. It's crazy list, very very good for singles. I think one of the best lists for tournaments right now.
Okay.
Also, Victor proved himself, did 81 points, 5-0, played Space Wolves, Baby Sharks, Drukaris, Karks, Astra Militarum, Andres Necrons, and Vladi Chaos Space Marines.
For the final, yeah.
Yeah,
That is
basically
a game worthy of a final.
he spent 4 games on table number 1. So
only shows again. Let's not say that that it only shows how strong the Custodes are, because I am the living proof that you can fuck up with Custodes. So it's not
also
that.
Victor is awesome player, very very
Yeah.
skillful, and that's the wizard for this one, basically.
Yeah.
Also, his score at not this but previous WTC with Custodes was also very good, so totally not surprised for me that he won the tournament. I was thinking it will be him or Vladi, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you weren't far off with your estimation because Vladi ended up third. Victor ended up first. Second place stolen by our local guy, Lisu. Again, congrats to the top three. To the podium. Joker, looking at the final results, looking at the top 10, looking at the tournament altogether, anything that stands out or anything that surprises you in those results?
Not really, to be honest. I
Uh-huh.
mean, we've still got a fairly diverse meta, or at least we had, because since then we've already had 2 books come out and another one on the way. So we'll see how those impact the game. But right now, yes, a nice spread of factions across the top 10, which is good to see. Usual suspects, at least some of them on the podium spots. But yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it still think the game is in a good place, and this event is another one that supports that claim.
Yeah, GW is doing a pretty good job when it comes to faction balance, and let's hope they keep it up like that, and that the new books don't break that equilibrium. But Ditzo, I need to ask you one question. You at the beginning, I said, well, when analyzing like the faction podium and the faction count, I mentioned that there are no sisters here, and I want to come back to that now. Why is that? Is it because sisters are just have been nerfed so many times and so strongly that they don't play now, or is it that the army fell out of grace and is just not popular anymore? Which one is it?
Basically, bit of both. The sisters are not in the best place right now. I think taking them to the single would be a big mistake. In the teams event, I can totally justify taking sisters into 8-man comp right now with 2, maybe 3 possible builds. But taking it to the singles in current state of the codex is just terrible idea. They lost big on Pack a Punch, and only playable build has vulnerabilities in terms of counters, so
It's
I
just
would
bad.
not take it on single, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how about teams? Like, is that an army that you would consider bringing for to a 5v5, let's say, which is I think the more common standard in Poland, although we aim at 8v8?
Only if I will have very good wizard for this one, basically. If
Mm-hmm.
it is Typhus or Myson running sisters, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, no option at all.
Okay. All right. So there you have it, guys. This was the Neptune Cup, the two-day event that took place last week in Gdynia in the north of Poland. As promised, our mission is to give you the latest and greatest about what is going on in the Polish meta right now, and this was one of the litmus papers of what the Polish meta is doing right now. But there is a GT in Poland going on almost every weekend now, so let us know in the comments, and you can send like private messages to us as well, or write to us on Facebook, etc. Whether you want to hear more of that and you want more analysis. Also, if you have any ideas how to make those analyses more interesting, should we bring up something on the screen, or should we be showing the lists, or do you want to go through the lists with us while we discuss them? Let us know, and we will listen. Joker, take us out.
I will. So, like, subscribe, all that jazz. It helps us grow. Consider becoming a patron. A massive thank you to those of you who already are. A massive thank you to the Army patron Weyland-Yutani, our sponsors. And also a shout out to Team Poland, of whom we are the official media partners. Come join in next week. And for now, goodbye.
Thank you, Ditso. Thank you,
Bye
everyone.
bye. Thank you
Bye.
for having me.